Hi, I'm Jessica Amir for the Finance News Network. Joining me from Jumbo Interactive is CEO and Executive Director Mike Veverka. Mike, welcome back to the Finance News Network.
Thank you for having me.
So for those new to Jumbo Interactive, can you give us a background to the company?
Well, Jumbo's been selling traditional lottery tickets via the internet for over a decade now. About 75% of our sales happen through our app. That's been the big star over the last few years. In fact, it's just been awarded the 5-star on the app in the App Store, so it's doing really, really well. It's something that we've been doing for a while. It's been growing quite nicely. In Australia now, there are around about 15% of all lottery tickets being sold over the internet, and that's growing consistently. When we compare that with other countries like the UK, they're already at 21% and still growing. Finland are already at 48% and still growing, so there's a lot of potential in the Australian market for selling lottery tickets online.
Zooming in a little bit more to your operations, can you tell us about the Oz Lotteries and the charity lottery businesses and how they've been performing?
Yeah, they've both been performing really, really well. The ticket sales for this year is actually down a little bit, about 4%. However, on a like-for-like basis, it's still growing. The reason it is down is because there's some natural fluctuations in jackpots. Some years you get good jackpots, some years you don't get so many jackpots, and last year was one of those years. However, if we do a comparison of our sales over a number of years, we find that our sales are continually going up. And in fact, even if you do a comparison over the half year compared to the half year before, we did 75 million in sales from 16 main jackpots, where a year ago we did 72 million in sales from 21 jackpots. So we're actually selling more from less jackpots, so things are going very well. And on the charity front, which is our new addition, that's going extremely well. Their sales have tripled over the last year, up to 3.8 million, so that's doing really well too.
Now to your agreement with Tats Group, what does that involve?
Well, just a couple of months ago we signed a new agreement with the Tats Group, so it's given all our contracts an extension for another 5 years, up to 2022, and then they go on a continual 12-month rolling basis, so that gives us the ability to continue pushing ahead with our growth. In addition to that, Tats invested $15 million into Jumbo to make sure that we can still keep on pushing ahead with our growth. And we've also increased our product portfolio, so we can now include the popular Set for Life game, which we expect to have online by Christmas.
Turning now to financials, what were some of the highlights from your FY17 results?
The highlights from our 17 results was a 21% increase in our net profit after tax to 5.6 million. However, that includes losses that we had in our German business, which we've recently shut down. So on a continuing basis, our profits are around about 7.6 million. And as I mentioned before, that's actually come from a slight decline in our ticket sales and revenue. So we actually managed to increase profits while our total ticket sales and our revenue declined slightly. So we're quite happy with the results, and it puts us in a good position going forward.
And how about the dividend, Mike? How does that compare to last year?
Our dividend's up to 8.5 cents for the full year. The deal with the Tats Group has allowed us to establish an 85% dividend payout ratio, which is definitely a highlight. And our strong balance sheet also allows for that. Our balance sheet has strengthened. We currently have about 40 to 42 million in cash on bank, and our net assets are around about 43 million. So we're in a solid financial position.
Thanks, Mike. Last question now. What's your focus for the next 12 months and longer term?
Well, now that the Tats deal has been signed, we can really start pushing ahead with our growth. So we've got some exciting plans for our marketing, our online marketing. So we're involving social media a lot more. We've just expanded our data analytics team a little bit more, so we're going to push ahead with that. And with all of these new things that we're doing, we should be able to take our total ticket sales up from the 145 million, which we did last year, and start pushing ahead towards the $200 million mark over the next 2 or 3 years. And that all goes to plan over the next few years, should give us about another 7.5 million in profit after tax, which could effectively double our profits. So that's our goal for the next 2-3 years.
Sounds great. Well, Mike Veverka from Jumbo Interactive, thanks so much for the update.
Thank you very much.